We're back on. I'm going to get this set up, but welcome to the stream, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm going to talk more. Let me know, Aiden. I'm going to keep... What's good, everyone? Welcome to the stream. Today, we're going to talk about what I would do if I was starting back from scratch. So I'm 20 years old right now, and we're going to talk about like what I would do if I was like 15, 16, 17 years old if I wanted to make money right now. But again, that's kind of the topic, and then we'll kind of mess around on Twitter. Is it good? All right, thank you so much. And Aiden's going to be hopping on. Honestly, low-key, I could probably... We got to be careful, but we can probably fit you in if I scoot it over in a bit if you wanted.
Bet, I'm down.
Aiden's here, y'all. Yeah, you didn't even see you. That's funny.
Yeah.
But let me get the... I'm going to say what I would do if...
You heard the number one complaint, bro.
Yeah. Tell him making the title. Tell him give me a second with Noah or whatever.
That was Boston.
Or Boston. He gave us four. Bro, whenever they come, I gotta do a live stream with them in it. You wanna give me the glasses? I'm gonna do a live stream, put them all. We're putting Danny in that shit.
March 1st or what?
Yeah, his birthday is March 1st, y'all. So let me just get this title.
They look at good, Colin.
You mess with them, and it's not echoing, right? Ask the chat. Make sure it's not echoing either, because I've had issues like echoing like yesterday. So please let me know. So I guess they can see from their end if it's echoing. All right, bet. Thank y'all.
I'm literally your manager right now, bro.
Aiden's gonna make a lot of money, y'all. Trust this dude hustling. What I would do if I started.
Colin, what's this?
I don't know. Hold it, y'all. I'm just making the title and stuff, and no description for now. Yeah, appreciate it, bro. All right, y'all. Welcome. So today, we got a really good conversation today. I think it's gonna be really good. Gotta make sure my hair is good. But basically, it's about what I would do if I started from scratch, right? So, again, obviously I'm young, so I'm only 20 years old, but I do think this is a good thing to talk about. Oh, I gotta mute. But this will be good. This will be really good. Let me go to the chat too. Oh yeah, I get the chats now. Oh, I'm getting like a what's it called? A gracious. You see gracious water rated. It's like the bots. They say they help you buy views. But let me get my kick up. But we're gonna go on a little rant today. I need clips, bro. I'm low-key running out of clips to post, so I gotta like low-key go on a rant here. Okay. Bet. Yeah, that's good. Bet. Welcome, y'all. So basically, we're gonna go about like okay. So if I'm 15 years old, 16 years old. When I was in high school, I was low-key messing around. I didn't even go to class. I don't think this guy went to class either when he was 15.
Fuck no.
I thought you were gonna say you did, but nah, he didn't. But again, if you're young, right, and you're actually like in this position and you want to do something with your life and you're actually trying to make like an actual lot of money at that young age, it's a lot different because again, you're not even 18 years old. So like technically, you have a custodial bank account. You can't even have an actual business bank account yet. So it makes it kind of difficult, but at the end of the day, you can still take payments. You have to get your parents' credit card or something, or like a person you know who's over 18. But if I was starting over, the number one thing I would do is I would want to get a really, really good understanding on things and like a good education on business as a whole and how to make money, right? So, for example, if you're starting any sort of business, like let's say an e-commerce company, you need to understand how clothing brands work. You need to understand how marketing works. And the only way you can literally learn right now on YouTube. You can learn for free right now. You don't need to buy a course. You can learn simply everything for free. So that's the number one thing I'll tell you. Like I've seen too many people who always try to like do a lot of different things with it. Bro, you could look on YouTube and understand this all in like probably like 10 minutes. Like even me, like I have an AI marketing company. I have no clue how to do. I have no clue how to code. I have no clue about any of this stuff. I was never tech savvy and I still managed to do it. So it's like that's why I'm tired of hearing all these excuses because it's really bullshit to be honest, dude. Like too many people nowadays have come up with bullshit excuses on why like there's problems and why they're dealing with stuff, which is complete BS, right? So again, what you need to do when you're starting over is number one, learn, right? You're probably stupid at 15. You're not smart. You have no life experience. You're not there, right? So what you need to do, you need to watch videos. You need to learn. You need to educate yourself, and it's easy. find some business YouTuber. Look up what you want to do. If you want to do like a fucking e-commerce brand, what e-commerce niche do you want to do? Do you want to do clothing? You want to do shorts? I don't know. Look up the person who's doing it well, watch videos, and then simply take notes, bro. It's not that hard. And all you have to do is, there's usually some sort of software, especially now with AI, that you can use to make these tools. For example, if you're running an e-commerce brand, Shopify. It's not that expensive, bro. Or you can make your own website, like vibe code a website on Lovable, or like another, vibe coding website where you can just prompt it, like using ChatGPT, and it'll make a website for you, right? So there's so many different ways to actually do that, but you don't know that unless you watch videos and learn, right? And there's no need to pay for a course. Don't pay for a course when you're starting out. A course can help you, it really can, but at first it's not going to help you, okay? Right? So that's the first thing I want to do. And again, when I started in real estate, it was very different because I had people around me. But most people who are young, you're not going to have people around you who are going to understand business at all. What 15-year-olds actually running a business? None. Very, very little. So that means you have to do it yourself at first. And then you got to find like-minded people who are doing what you're doing, right? So again, it's very, very hard to have success at a young age. But dude, have you guys seen how many like 15-year-old kids there are that have made like a ton of money? A ton of money. And that could be you. I mean, it can be anyone, but it takes time. So if you're young, you have that advantage. I always wish I started when I was younger. I totally wish I started when I was younger, but obviously I don't regret my past experiences because I, led up to the point I'm at now, right? So again, what you should do, let's say you want to start an e-commerce brand. This is an example. You need to learn how to run ads. You need to learn about e-commerce. You need to learn about products itself. And then you just got to run ads, right? You have to make a website. You have to talk to people who ship clothing. So probably someone from China, right? And then you ship it to Amazon or whatever, right? It's so easy to do nowadays, but many people just don't know what they're doing, and I think it's because they're scared. Don't be scared. Never be scared about stuff. If you're here on the earth only once, what the heck's the point of being scared? There's no point of being scared. You gotta go. You gotta move. You're gonna fail. I promise you. You're not gonna have success your first time, your fifth time, even your 10th time probably. I have failed many times, and I'll own up to it because it's hard. It's so hard to have success, but the more coins you flip, the more chances you have for success. So you got to keep going. You got to keep pushing. And many people don't understand how long it could take to make money. I didn't make money for years when I started this stuff. I was fine with that. I was totally fine with that. And you should be fine with it too, right? You can't look at results when it comes to money at first. You can't. You got to be fine with having the process and learning and doing things and messing up and having some sort of little bit of successes, right? That's how you live. That's how you have success, right? Again, you're young. You're young only one time. So take that risk. The older you get, the harder it is to take risk, right? Because you have situations you're in, like you're with a family, you have, all that stuff. You can't take as much risk. It's a lot harder. When you're younger, it's a lot easier to take risk and actually try things out. So I highly recommend for anyone who wants to try and who's thinking about trying, just do it. Just do it, bro. It's not that difficult, especially starting out. What's difficult is understanding the sales process and how to actually get people to pay you a lot of money, right? Especially if you want to make income that's more than a job. That's why I always recommend for everyone to get job experience. Fuck it. Like go get an oil rig job. Go work in the ocean somewhere. Like it's not, you can make 15, 20 grand a month. You might die. But it's an experience you get. So, I mean, it's true. It's true, y'all. If you work your ass off, and you learn things, and you have these life experiences, that's going to help you have success. I promise you it will. But you don't get those, chances of having success unless you go through the hardships of dealing with boredom. It's boring doing the same thing every day. It's so boring, I promise you. But I promise you that it won't be boring once you have success. Look at all these streamers. Look at all these people who do social media. There are stories of people who do it for 5, 10, 15 years, bro. Like Gary Vee, this dude who's, I don't know, do you know Gary Vee or no? Yeah, so he's a guy, he's on TikTok, he has like 15 million followers. Bro, he started in 2009. It's 2026 now. And he's still having success. And he had success when he started, but it's because of his brand. So again, when you're starting, it's always good to document your journey, just like I am. I don't have tens of thousands of followers yet, but I know how to talk. I understand that I have a lot of learning to do, but I understand too that I've had success and I have room to show for it, right? So if you're starting out, that's exactly what you need to do. Document your journey. You do things that others won't do, okay? I say this every single day, bro. It's not that difficult. But when you're starting out, it's hard. It's tough. You're going to feel like giving up, and that's part of it. I promise you that's part of it. But you just got to keep going, bro. You got to keep going. And that's every day. Like today, for example, I am building these workflows and it's some complicated stuff. But it sucks. I'm going to be honest. I want to make money. I want to make cash, all right? I want to make a lot of cash. And basically what I've understood is you can't make cash unless you can give value. So building things that people are going to like and that will influence people to buy from you is how you make money. So that's what I understood. I understood that very, very early. And now it's like, okay, now I got to get better at sales. Now I got to figure out how to get people to buy from me, okay? So I think that's something that I want to talk about. Bro, I think I'm going to go on Twitter and then talk more. Should I go on Twitter, bro?
I'm down.
Should I go on Twitter, bro? Oh, this will be funny. I'm gonna have to share my screen. Hold up. This might take a minute to do. Oh yeah. Well, the camera doesn't see it. I got a mess. Yeah, stream for real. Screen capture. Let me know if it echoes here too, Aiden.
It hasn't been.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna share my screen. Hold up. It's probably gonna change. Let me get the window capture. Give it a second. Let me go on. I'll have to open X. Give me a second. Give me a sec, y'all. Where does X stuff at, bro? What the heck? Give me 1 second. Discard. Alright, bet. Let me get this shit again. Let me know if it's echoing at any point, bro. Because this last time I did this, it echoed. Boom. I'm gonna delete this shit. Bro, this is like, streaming is low-key tough, bro. I don't know how to use any of this stuff, bro. Window capture. Like, where the X at, bro? I'm trying to pull up my X, bro. Here you go. Bet, bro. Got Andrew Tate on there. That's the first thing that pops up, bro. So now I gotta put my face in front of it. Hold up. Where is this stuff at? Order, move up. Bet. What's the stream look like right now? Is it all like messier now, Aiden?
Yeah.
Okay, bet. I'll fix it. Don't worry.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah, I'm adjusting it. Hold up. I gotta like. Why is it so?
You gotta get a green screen.
I do need to get a freaking green screen. Why is this not? I have to put it in the front. Blending mode. Transform. Move up. There you go. Now watching Andrew Tate, bro. This be funny as heck, bro. Let me know. This be mad funny. How is it, Aiden? Is it okay?
It's not like you're too big.
I'm too big?
Yeah, like I mean you can't really see all of the feed on the Twitter.
Okay, bet. Thank you. Is the Twitter stuff good? Is that good?
I mean you still like.
No, I lowered it. There you go. Let me know. Should I make it bigger?
That's good.
Good?
Yeah, that's good.
This is like fucking great having Aiden here. I'm not even gonna lie. It makes it so much easier. I don't get good feedback unless Aiden's right here. All right, bet. We'll leave it like that size. Now we're going on Twitter, bro. Should we talk? Should we be controversial, Aiden, or what? What do you think?
I didn't want to go to the club. I said I don't want to go. I said this is bullshit.
Can you hear it?
They said it's Nick's first ever time. And I truthfully believed I could get in and out of this dump in 15 minutes without an international incident.
You can't.
And I would,
Tate,
of course not.
You know this
I've
now.
learned. I've learned.
good.
But how did you not know that already? Sorry about that. Sorry about that.
No, I've learned.
All right. So we're going to talk about this. This is me good. So basically, if y'all don't know, what's it called? Freaking, basically these dudes, I'm going to look at the comments here. A lot of these guys who are like big red pill people, basically, who don't really give a shit, who are controversial, basically, went to a club and they're blasting this like Hitler song, bro. And it's really interesting because I watched the podcast with PBD. We watched it earlier, and it's really weird. Like I was watching Andrew Tate. We're listening to this thing, bro, and he was like always like trying to like say he didn't do anything. He was like, oh, whatever. But it's just like I don't know what my thoughts are on it, bro. To be honest to you, but yeah, I gotta think about your thoughts. People can say what they want to say, and people can listen to what they listen to. Yeah, I think this is my thing, Al. At the end of the day, I totally get people should be offended off of it if they are, and I understand if they are. But at the same time, Say swear. No way, bro. Oh, she's gonna be like, what the heck? She doesn't know I'm streaming. Hi, guys. What is my thing tweaking my kick, Aiden?
Yeah, why is it tweaking?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not doing anything. Hold up.
There we go. Now it's fixed.
I don't know what was happening. Is it good?
Yeah. You know your thing's too big though.
My face? Oh, you want it to be lower, so it's yeah, I got you. There's that. Let me just I can adjust it. I don't want it to be too small though.
No, yeah, move the Twitter thing to the right, and then adjust your thing to be bigger.
Like that's good. Appreciate it. This is fucking. Yeah, I wish this is hard to do actually. Good. Check it out. It's to give it it's delayed a bit.
There we go.
Good. Just let me know at any point. I can adjust it pretty easily. But this is the thing about this, y'all, that obviously it's definitely I understand why people are mad about it. But the thing is, these people, y'all have to understand about social media influencers. Bro, they're doing this to get clicks. They don't care. People don't care about this stuff 90 years ago. Let's be honest. And they're doing it to get clicks. That's that simple. And it works. Because think about it. Everyone has a super short dopamine rush, all right? And basically, this is the only way they can get attention, by doing stuff like this. And at the end of the day, for me, I don't really care. I'm focused on business and my stuff. I could give a shit what people do, to be honest with you. I don't care. They can do what they want. They're smart. They're very educated, obviously. They understand what they want to understand, and they have the right to their own opinion. And definitely cancel culture is they're banning people for this type of stuff. They got banned from all the clubs, which I think is definitely too much. At the end of the day, whoever was working at the club, if the club's so mad about it, why did the person at the club play it? The employee, they got fired, but they literally played the song. So what do you think about that, Aiden? If the employee literally played the song, bro, the employee, at the end of the day, it's why are you getting mad at the people? The employee should be smarter and be like, okay, I'm not going to play the song. That's kind of my thoughts on it. It's I could give a shit what people do. I don't care. I saw this stuff and I watched the podcast this morning. But at the end of the day, it's kind of they technically have the right to believe the way they want to believe. And no one could do anything about it. For me, I don't really care. I try to stay away from politics, to be honest with you, and it doesn't really fucking matter to me. I'm fucking focused on what I need to focus on. I'm focused on making cash, all right? That's for real, to be honest with you. But I wanted to mention this because it's definitely very interesting. Very interesting. But let me go down here. Let me know if it's good, Aiden. Let me know if it's working okay. All right. Bro, Justin, the G Justin Waller. Oh my God, we got more Hitler stuff. Let me go refresh the page. Let me know. I'm just getting all Andrew Tate stuff. Steve will do it, bro. Oh yeah, and Dave Portnoy. This dude got I don't know if you saw this, dude. He got really pressed about it, Aiden. Can you see the tweet? Yeah. It's been 38 years since. Bro, this guy, I don't know if he tweeted about it. Let me see. He definitely tweeted about it, bro. But he runs Barstool Sports, bro. And what's it called? He runs Barstool Sports, and basically he's a Jewish guy. And basically he was trying to get collab, and he was mad at Aiden Ross too. He texted Aiden Ross whenever the whole thing with Puka Nacua happened. He texted Aiden Ross about it and stuff. It was very interesting. But I like Dave Portnoy, to be honest with you. I've always been a fan of Barstool Sports, bro. They have some. I've watched them forever, bro. To be honest with you. That's crazy. You don't watch them that much. And there's Anthropic. I don't know. People are not gonna want to listen to see that. Should I watch the clip, Aiden? The video clip?
Which one?
This one?
Yeah.
That seems to have died down now. The flotilla's gone.
Can you see it?
And the bombing has stopped. That's a big part of it. But I do believe there is a huge percentage of the young male population which are so disenfranchised with the system that they're looking for somebody to blame. If you want to get someone on here to discuss whether the Israelis or the Jews are actually to blame, well, that's going to be Nick, because I believe he's more qualified than I. I'm not saying that.
Damn.
What I'm saying is that young men are waking up in a world where they stand no chance of having any of the things their fathers had. They're never going to have a wife who respects them and loves them, because their wife's on TikTok and believes she deserves a G-Wagon full of roses. And they believe they need a Lambo at 19. And nobody wants to work a job because jobs don't pay. And nobody wants to go to school because a degree isn't going to pay. And nobody can save up to buy a house because you can no longer compound your work in dollars.
My thing's tweaking, bro. I don't know what the heck happened to it. I didn't do anything to it. Is it better now? I think.
Yeah, just adjust it.
I don't know what happened to it. I need someone like, dude, I'm looking to hire someone who's like, all my streams like, fix this, like, the screen shit. That's like low-key complicated.
All the streamers are.
Yeah, I know. All right, bet. I'm going to turn it. So, yeah, I'm going to watch the whole thing. And see
You
my
can't go
thoughts.
to work, do an hour's work, put it in the bank, do another hour's work, put it in the bank, and save up to buy a house because you're being outpaced by inflation, money printing, all these wars, all this Somali fraud, taxes. You're being outpaced. You can't even save money anymore. So when young men are waking up in a world where their only chance to possibly get rich is effectively gamble on crypto, literally gamble, they're sitting here going, well, this system's broken. Who's behind this system? Why am I living in such a broken system? And there is a theory, and there's many theories as to who's in charge of the world or who built this system or why the system's so broken. There is a theory that it's the Jews. That's why anti-Semitism is going to continue no matter what Israel does, whether they stop the bombing or not, whether the Jews come on the news and shut this song down or not, whether they try and ostracize anyone who talks about them or not. None of that's going to change anything as long as you have a huge percentage of young men who stand no hope in life. Because when you've always, in any point in human history, when you find a large subset of the young masculine population that have no hope, it's going to be a revolution. They're looking for somebody to blame, and they're going to do something. They're going to become radicalized. That happens absolutely everywhere. So if you'd ask me, where are we in the Israel conversation? I don't think it matters what Israel does, or Bibi, what he says, or what Trump says. I don't think any of that matters. When you have all these men out here who have no hope of building a good life, they're going to find somebody to blame for it, whether it's immigrants. Yeah. That's what it is in European countries.
Wow. I think it's totally true. I think people like this whole thing with it, and I don't know. It's very interesting, but he's right. I mean, people who are young, who want to have success, they want to have some sort of excuse for why they're poor. They want to have some sort of excuse for why they have no money. And right now, that's who they're blaming on. He's right. But the thing is, I don't know. I think there should be no one to blame for failure. And that's my whole point. If you failed, it's no one else's fault besides yours, especially if you're in the United States. And that's the whole problem with like people as a whole. Everyone loves to have some sort of excuse. You notice all these kids who are like, oh, I would have been in the NFL if I didn't get hurt, or some bullshit like that. I see that all the time. I would have done this if this didn't happen to me. Those excuses are why they're not who they want to be, right? So this is really interesting, but I don't know. It definitely, I think he's right about this. I think people who are young have no hope in building a good life because of what society has done, right? So for example, in the 1950s, you could live a job, or you could work a job, you could live in a nice single family house, have a wife, have kids. If you're the dude, you just worked, and you could afford to have 2 cars, you could afford to live. But now because of inflation and because they keep printing money, the quality of life is going down. And people think it's going up. It's going clearly down. The people who are very successful have it well, and that's kind of what I want to portray on you guys. What's the point of living a life and being average? There's no point. If you want to live life, be rich. Maybe people won't like you for it, but if you do good, you have a good heart, and you want to do good things for society, what's the point in not having money to show for it? Money is a reward for all the hard work you do. So that's kind of my thoughts on this. It's like people blame the Jews for everything, but at the same time, like, blame yourself. That's the way I'm like. I tell Aiden all the time, like, you have to take full accountability for everything you do. Don't blame a group because of your bullshit mistakes. It's your fault. Everything should be your fault. No matter if it is kind of your fault or 100% your fault, you should take full accountability for everything you've done. So that's my thoughts on that. We're going to go to the next video. Let me know, Aiden, if it's good.
Models that write code. We are now, in terms of, the models that write code, I have engineers within Anthropic who say, I don't write any code anymore. I just let the model write the code. I edit it. I do the things around it. I don't know, we might be 6 to 12 months away from when the model is doing most, maybe all of what SWEs do end to end. And then it's a question of how fast does that loop close? We are now in...
I have thoughts on this. So basically what they're saying here, and I'm not sure if y'all can see this.
I understand what you're asking.
Let me pause this real quick. Basically, this is Anthropic is Claude, okay? And Claude's a competitor of ChatGPT. If you guys don't know, I'm sure most of you guys probably don't understand this, but Claude is a competitor of ChatGPT, and that's where Anthropic is, okay? And basically, many websites, there's companies that are making hundreds of millions of dollars now for literally just like, it's like a chat GPT of like a website. So you can type in what you want and it'll make a website for you, and you can edit it and it'll all turn into code and stuff like that. It's called vibe coding, okay? And basically what's happening is software engineers is a pretty big job. There are so many people who are majoring that in college who want to be software engineers. I think it's going to completely get wiped out in the next probably few years. Maybe not 12 months, but you don't need them anymore. These people, if you're like ever trying to make a website in a business, let's say you're anyone, these people cost thousands of dollars, but instead you could pay 20 or 30 or 40 bucks a month for some cheap software that will do it better than these people will do it. And you can do it exactly how you want to do it. So that's the thing with AI, and that's why I'm so against, I'm very against university for most people, because of the fact that you're going to get replaced. So then what are you going to do? Is there going to be like some sort of universal income? We don't know. We don't know what's going to truthfully happen, but it's definitely very interesting to this. And that's like, no one pays attention to this. Like, no one sees AI on their feed. But again, that's just part of it. Ooh, here's a good one I'm going to find. U.S. stock market. This is good, actually. Aiden, what do you think about this, bro? Bro, look at this. Let me see if the stream could see it, bro. Look at this. So basically, this is today. I didn't even actually look at the stock market, but I think probably Trump put some tariffs in it, made it go down for a little bit. I don't know.
I need to leave the stream real quick for a second.
Yeah, you're good. I don't know. Very interesting there. Let me see. Let me keep going here. I keep seeing all this stuff though, bro. Oh my gosh. Damn. James, so this guy here, I don't know if y'all know, but he's running for Florida governor. We'll see what happens with him. Yeah, Justin Waller. I keep seeing these tape clips, but we already played the tape clips. Ooh, here's another one.
So it's not like
think a
you're
20-year-old
choosing to be like, you are a leader, and they are like looking
Yes.
up to you. So it's not like
think a
you're
20-year-old
choosing to be
clown-
like, yo, I'm in charge of you guys.
This kid shouldn't be in the club. He's 20. That's another conversation.
Yeah.
He's meeting you for the first time. You're his idol.
I understand the point you're making, and you know what? Sneeko has insulted me endless times, especially across the last 4 years. I haven't seen him in years and years and years. But maybe, maybe it's the man code in me. He's insulted me so many times, and I could sit here and throw him under the bus, but it's just not who I am as a person. I want to meet Nick and Clav. It's Clav and Nick who reached out to me. You're in America. We've never met before. Come through. We're with Sneeko. Is that okay? My reply was, Sneeko always has some crybaby issue with me. If he's not going to cry his eyes out, he can come. And he came along, and he made a fucking mess. And I could sit here and blame it all on him. But that's truthfully not, I don't know. That just feels wrong to me. I'm not going to sit here and say who else it was. I'm just going to say I didn't do it. I'm just going to say that I didn't play the song. I don't find the song funny. I didn't think it was appropriate to do. It's someone else's decision. We can drag him up here and we can ask him why he did it. Perhaps you're right. Perhaps when they said Nick's never been to a club before, I should have thought, Nick's never been to a club before. It's the first time I've ever met him. It might be a funny story. I haven't been in America in a year. You know what? I'm bored. I don't even like clubs, but I'm in Miami. Maybe I should go for 15 minutes. Perhaps that was the wrong decision. Perhaps it was. Perhaps I should have known better. But I went, and here we are.
Dang, that's crazy. Wow. I don't even know what I think about that, but I know Sneeko. I used to I never really watched him that much, honestly. But I never really followed Sneeko, to be honest with you. I never really I don't know much about him. But I know he was there. But this is big. It's all over Twitter. I keep seeing more and more footage and more videos and stuff. And here's another guy that was there too. His name is Justin Waller. But he was there. And this guy has been really big on social media and stuff like that. But I don't know. I think the thing is, the moral of the story here is, I think, in my opinion, it's right to have thoughts on these things. Dude, I was literally walking today and I saw people fucking protesting, bro, about, I don't even know what they're protesting about. But it's bro, it's a Tuesday at 12 p.m. What are you protesting for? You have things to do. I don't understand. I think people should be more focused on themselves. Obviously, they need to be focused on issues. Sure, if you want to be focused on a specific issue, go for it. But at the same time, bro, it's focus on yourself. If you want to make it to that top, you have to do things and actually try. If you're wasting your time and wasting your life and just worrying about things that don't actually even matter, what matters is taking care of yourself and doing the right thing for yourself. All these other things are just distractions. That's why I don't even go. This is literally the only time on Twitter when I'm streaming or if I'm like recording a video. I think it's just good for content. I can get a lot of reactions and more opinions and stuff. But my whole opinion, and someone who's like on this all day, I'm kind of like, bro, take that time you're on this stuff and focus on your own business. Focus on yourself. Work out, eat healthy, take care of yourself. So that's kind of my thoughts on like this overall stuff. This with anything, like even the stock market, like obviously that's different because it could be with your own financial, gain, right? So you obviously have to care about it a little bit. But for me, even with that, bro, it's like I'm kind of more concerned about other things. Like with the stock market, I don't even like the stock market in the first place. So for me, when I see it go down or up, obviously like you have to care a little bit because it does affect everyday things. But I'm focused on my own stuff, right? Like even when I tell people like they're like, hey, what stock should I buy? I'm like, you don't need to buy a stock, bro. You need to invest that money in yourself and learning a skill where you can make way more money. You can make way more money than any stock. And this is an example I'll share, right? So I put a few $1,000s into this private venture capital fund. So basically this real estate fund is a private fund, meaning whoever takes the money or whoever you're investing the money into does whatever they want with the money. Obviously, they're probably going to buy a property. They're probably going to buy a multifamily unit. This group specifically bought 2 multifamily units. They were like 100 rooms each. The big multifamily units, I believe, in Phoenix. So I invested in this a couple years ago once I gained some money, or like a year ago, or 2 years ago maybe. And this is a lot of money. And what I learned was my return was like 4% annually, which is like you could leave your money in the bank. It'll probably do better than that. And it will be better because you can control the money. These people, the way they had the fund is I couldn't take the money out for 5 years, meaning my money is stuck with them for 5 years. And I get 4% a year, meaning I'm really losing money compared to inflation. So what I learned was I don't invest in these private funds. I'm not going to do it ever again unless I'm raising the capital because I know I can get better returns than 4%. Like there are so many better ways. If I put my money in Bitcoin 2 years ago, I would have doubled my money by now. Yeah, if it was like a fold, yeah, probably doubled it. And it's literally on a bear market. It's down right now. So that's what you guys got to understand about this whole, I guess, conversation in my view. But yeah, you got to be selfish. Do what is best for you. You know what I mean? Let me see here. Anything good? I don't know if I don't really pay attention to sports that much, only a little bit. But Indiana did win. I saw that was in Miami. Let's see. And I can't. I'm not watching Clav. Let's see. Yeah. Steiny. Let's see. These guys, I'm telling you, like, they don't give a shit. Like, these dudes, bro, I'm telling you, like, and I don't even care. Like, props to them. They're doing their thing, bro. Let's be honest. Like, they're doing their thing. But you guys got to understand this, right? About all these people. They're doing it simply for the clicks, bro. And I respect it, bro. It's the game. Their job is to get clicks. They're doing a good job. Like, you got to give them props. But think about it. Every single third grader who's watching this has basically a very, very slow dopamine rush, right? They don't get excited over these videos anymore. They need some crazy video to get a little bit of excitement to keep watching. And if you're talking shit even a little bit, no one's actually gonna no one really wants to like pay attention to it. You see what I mean? No one cares. So that's why, again, if you want to get clicks, this is what you should do. Like honestly, and there's nothing wrong with it, bro. Like I have no problem with it. But at the end of the day, you guys have to understand. You can't take people like think about it. I guarantee we talk to this guy, Clav, or you talk to someone in real life, they're probably a hell of a lot different than they are on social media. That's just part of it. That's just the game. And you have to respect that. That's why I respect it totally. They're doing their thing. And if they have opinions that you don't like, well, the thing is, this is what I think, they're big and you're not. So if they're big and they can get people mad easier, at the end of the day, it's not great. It's not. But they can do what they want, and they have a platform to show for it. That's just the way I've always thought of it, to be honest with you. Let me see. I got more tweets. The Lakers. I'm so confused. What's this? Yeah, whatever. I see the guacamole, bro. The free guac,
Chipotle.
bro, why is this shit on my Twitter, bro?
My phone didn't die. Let me charge it for a little bit.
You're good. Yeah, I've seen this a lot. He said he's uncomfortable there. bro. Like, oh my god, yeah. Honestly, like, bro, like the thing is, like, you have to understand, like, he's big, bro. Like, at the end of the day, he can do. Oh my god, bro. But he could do like these people can do what they want to do. You know what I mean? If you're big, you're allowed. You could say what you want to say. Maybe people won't like it, but they at the end of the day, they spent years like these guys, y'all. I don't think y'all understand. I think this is enough for now. I'm gonna full screen it. But y'all, these people who are building their brands, it takes years. So at the end of the day, it's like, yes, will you agree with everything everyone says? No, I don't agree with anyone 100%. Okay, that's just the number one thing I'm gonna say. All right, I took these off because look a little bright. But I don't agree with most people on most things. But at the end of the day, it's kind of like, bro, if you're only once. So what these guys are doing, they're trying to get attention. That's respect, like respect for it. I don't care. They should be able to do what they want to do. And that's my opinion on it. And whether you like it or not, it's irrelevant because they're still going to do it. No matter how many clubs ban them, no matter how much stuff happens to them, people are still going to do what they want to do. It's good for his business. Think about it. All of these controversial things that happen, it's an emotion, okay? And this is what we're going to talk about with emotions, right? So I always say as a business owner, I understand this pretty well because of the fact I have ran a business. In order to get people to be interested in anything you're doing, it's very simple. You have to have an emotion that they get out of it, right? You have to have, whether it's a negative emotion, positive emotion, jealousy emotion, right? Anything that is going to get them to want to buy is what you want. You need to have that. So these guys that are doing, and this is very smart, and you guys should take notes. If you want to be a content creator, this is what you have to understand. Any sort of emotion, whether it's sad, happy, anything, that's going to get people interested in your stuff. People don't think when they have emotion. So as salespeople, what they do is they try to figure out what the pain point is to someone, what they need help with, and they solve that. And that brings an emotion of like, hey, this person's helping me, meaning they're going to want to buy. Okay? So I want to make that very clear. It's the same thing with this. They don't even see people as people. They see it as views. This is very smart. If you're any business, this is very smart. And that's what I want to take it back to is like, look, you may not agree with the opinion. Many brands have posted controversial opinions before. Many of them. Yet they're still growing. The thing is, if you have a very small army of people who really are diehard supporters, that's almost better than just being a nobody who's a big brand, right? Those diehards will spend money with you and they'll give you attention. Notice this stuff on Twitter, how these clips are over and over and over again. You see this all the time, right? Attention's currency, right? So you have to generate that. You have to give it attention, right? Emotions are very, very important. The more emotions you get spike out of people, the more attention you're going to get, meaning that's clicks for you and your brand. So that's what you should take out of this, honestly. These guys are good at controversy. They play the game right. They play the game really, really well, and that's something that I think is super fucking important. Need a little water break too, bro. I'm on a little ramble. Hopefully I get some more clips from this, bro. I was on Twitter for a bit, but I hopped off now.
How come?
I don't know. I keep saying the same BS over and over. The same stuff. I already said my thoughts on it. It's
pill.
the red pill. But I was talking about how I was telling them emotions are like they basically these people are able to get emotional to people because it's like a very sensitive topic, and that's how they get attention, and that turns into clicks and money for them. You see what I mean? Yeah. So that's how I was explaining. No one talks about that, bro. No one. I've never seen anyone talk about that. People just talk about how they feel they're always mad about and it's offending them. But like these guys, dude, think about it. All these podcasts and stuff. That's because of the stuff that happened, and that's money in their pocket. So the more media spotlight they get, even if it's negative, people are still paying them money. They're still getting attention. So to them, it's like they're used to this. Like these guys are all controversial. They understand the game, and you should too. As a business person, you should be a little bit controversial. You should have emotions that is gonna get to people's heads. You have to. If you want to make money, that's exactly what you have to do. So I highly encourage anyone to figure out an emotion that you could use to get people to pay you or look at your stuff, and use that over and over again. Right? Whether it's high energy, whether it's any sort of negative emotion. Negative emotions honestly correlate, I think, better than positive emotions. Because everyone sees positive dopamine every day. But negative stuff, controversial stuff, that's what gets attention. And that's what works. You notice, that's in the headlines. Most of the positive, you don't see, look at this. Let's think about the news for a second. All the news. Is it positive or negative stuff on the news? What do you think? Positive or negative? Mostly.
It's gonna be a lot negative.
Mostly negative.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's mostly negative stuff on the news. Why is it negative? Because that gets attention and emotions out of people. If it's positive, no one really cares. It's just like there. Everything the news is talking about, the stock market crashed. This person did this. This person's in jail. Something like that. It's an emotion that's negative, and that's how it gets people attention. That's how you get people hooked on that stuff. Do you guys know there's like a ton of people, I'm sure you guys know this, People around you just watch the news all day. They sit on their couch, watch the news all day, and they act like they can do something to change it. Protesting, doing something like that, what's it doing for yourself? Nothing. Nada. It does zero for you. So that's my opinion. Is like, you should lock in on yourself. Until people are talking about you, then you should then it's whatever. But until you like build that brand up, there's no point in caring about this stuff because it doesn't affect you. These policies, I mean, the stock market affects people, but like these protesters, like, bro, no one cares. Frankly, what are they have 20 people. What power do they have, bro? Zero. They got no power. Okay, so I don't understand that, but it's true. It's true. And I think another thing I learned is like, everyone's selfish. Okay, you're selfish. I'm selfish at times. Everyone's selfish. Okay.
To an extent.
To an extent, but I think people are selfish in general. I think if down like deep down, everyone wants best for themselves. Everyone wants the stuff that's gonna work for them. If let's say you're on the earth and you have either you die or someone else dies, like if it's 1-on-1 combat, you want to do everything you can so you're alive. But you don't really care about the other person, but you want to make sure you're alive and you're well. And that's selfish. That is definitely selfish. With money, when people don't pay taxes, it's a selfish thing, but obviously there's no problem with it because they're doing good, like you're helping other people. But at the same time, most people are willing to do good, but they want good in return. It's hard. Most people don't want to do good and get nothing in return. Everyone wants to build themselves up. Everyone wants to have value, okay? Everyone wants the best for themselves, and that's fine, right? And that's the whole point I'm making is with all this stuff, these guys are doing this for a reason. It's for their brands, and people are paying attention to it. And it's good for them. It's a win for them and a lose for whoever's mad about it. Because whoever's mad about it, they waste their time thinking about these guys. Bro, these guys are recording content. These guys are selling things. These guys are making moves. And no one understands that. So I think that's something that I wish people understood better is that part of it. It's very confusing. I'm sure many of you guys haven't heard that opinion, but you should do what's best for yourself. And that means work your ass off. That's what I always say. The one message to have to anyone who's like looking at all this stuff and looking at all this brain rot, bro, fix your life. If you're wasting time on this, it means you have nothing else that's important enough for you to work on. You're wasting your time brainwashing on things that don't actually matter. What can you do about that? What can you do about the people who are dancing around, having the music? What can you do about it? Be upset about it? What's that do for you? It makes you in a bad mood. But these guys don't care. And it doesn't matter. It's a free country. They can do what they want. Maybe it's offending people, but they can do what they want at the end of the day. And if that makes people sad, so be it. It's fucked up, sure. You can argue that. I understand that opinion. But at the same time, these guys are making money from it. And my point is, if they're making money from something like this, you got to take this. Everything I see, when I'm driving on the road and I see a business, and I always think about, how are they making money? What are they doing? Usually it's like a hotel or something, or like a gas station. There's something, like these people, they wouldn't, if they're up there and the real estate's there, they're obviously making some sort of money. Like it's very clear they're making something. So that's why you should pay attention to outside things and use it to benefit yourself. First, just take like that's the thing is like another thing with negative energy. People around you are all negative. People have a lot of negative ideas around you. People are just negative in general because they don't know what you truly want in life. If you talk about something very crazy and very big and very awesome, monumental, people are going to be negative around you. I promise you. They're going to be like, what are you doing? This makes no sense because it's out of the ordinary. And people don't like things that make people feel like they're better than them, right? So that's what you have to understand is if people don't care about each other, like this is like the whole selfish thing. Do what's best for you, okay? That's not the last time I'm going to say it, but many people I see nowadays just live their life all lavishly and just kind of look at the news, just twiddle their thumbs, waste their time, waste their life, and they pay attention to this outside stuff. But in my opinion, what's the point of paying attention to it? Like I always look at it, 5 minutes, go back to work. Obviously, you need to know what's going on, but don't waste your life on this type of stuff. And that's kind of what I learned. So obviously, when you're starting a business, you don't have time to think about things. Like when it comes to emotions, things like that, I just work. And maybe it sounds crazy to some people, but at the same time, it's like, you have a long-term vision, and you want to do everything you can to get to that long-term vision. And there will be boring days. There will be days where it sucks. And trust me, most of my days are very repetitive. I do the same thing every single day, but it's for a long-term good. And that's the way I always thought about it. These little things, like even if I get 500 views, or I get 20 likes on a post, or 25 likes on an Instagram or TikTok, whatever, that means 25 people liked my stuff and got value from it. And that means the world to me. Whether it's 25 or 100 or 500 or 5,000, it doesn't matter because if you're helping little people improve, or you're helping people improve their lives, and you're doing positive, good things, not only are you building your brand up and you can get people's eyes on your stuff, but you're also helping them. But again, That's why emotions are so important, right? So again, the positive emotions are good, but you also have to throw some controversial stuff in there. You also have to throw some other crazy things in there because you have to get people's attention. And I think every single year, people's attention rates get worse and worse because there's so many videos that are so highly engaging, so many quick moving videos. And that's the point. It's different now. It's a different world we're living in now. And that's what you have to understand. So, for example, if you're running an ad or you're running a marketing, you need to figure out exactly how, like what niche you're doing, so what business you're in, what the pain point is, and hammer that pain point. Well, the more you hammer that pain point, the more money you're going to make because people are going to need that help. They're going to be like, damn, I need that, right? It's anything. Like, you look at a McDonald's commercial and make the hamburgers look good, but in reality, it's not that good. It's the same thing. Like, it makes you crave it, but at the end of the day, it's like, whatever. So that's why I think marketing is so important. These people are very good marketers. So I wanted to explain that. I'm going to post some more Twitter stuff up. Let me see. Hold up. Let me go on. See if I get anything else that's like good. Let me see. I got a good one to show up here. Bro. Let me get this smaller. So Jerome Powell, bro, this dude needs to get out, bro. He's not great, bro. I think he's like basically this dude. He's a dude who won't drop interest rates, and we've had a lot of issues with him. I think, and this is the thing too. As someone who was in a business previously that did well off high interest rates, it's almost like crazy to me how he won't drop it more than he has. Like, I made money when he didn't drop interest rates, but I still think he should have dropped interest rates. And now the market's down, all this stuff. And honestly, look, I try not to pay too much attention to this stuff, but like, it's for the well-being. People are literally struggling to pay the bills, and people are not getting mortgages, which is messing up the housing market because interest rates are high. I think it's like 70% of Americans they have like less than a 4.5% interest rate because they got it in 2021 during COVID when Trump did that stuff with the interest rates. Now, no one's buying homes. People are renting. And in the mortgage market, that's going to cause a crash. And this is kind of like what we see in 2007. It's the same thing. Obviously, the mortgage bonds are different. But at the same time, it's like people need to survive this stuff. And then another thing, too, with like what Trump's doing, and I'm going to mention this because why not? Whatever. With 50-year mortgage stuff. 50-year amortization, right? So right now, if you look at a mortgage, it's 30 years, okay? And basically what I'm saying is you have a 30-year loan. What Trump's trying to do is he's trying to make it 50 years. The problem with that, and this is my view, and obviously I am very balanced. Like I agree, things on both sides, whatever. The problem is his argument's like, hey, payments will be lower. Yes, they will be lower. But my whole thing is like, bro, 50 years? That's someone's like, some people live for only 50 years. So basically, my whole thing is like, bro, people go to college, they get in debt. People, they get married, they get in debt. People buy a car, they get in debt. They buy a house, they get in debt. And now you're trying to make the debt longer? Like, that's not a big problem with it. Obviously, look, if you make an option, you have like 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, whatever. People may want to do the 50-year mortgage rates. I don't care. But if you're someone who's trying to get a mortgage, especially with high interest rates, why would you want to get a 50-year mortgage? You wouldn't. You absolutely wouldn't. And I think it's very, very, weird how people just don't understand that concept. Like, anyone who, and most people don't understand this stuff. Like I mentioned before, no one knows how to use credit cards. No one knows anything about credit cards. No one knows anything about credit scores. And the credit card companies make money from that. No one knows anything about mortgages because mortgages can be very complicated. And that's why I'm very happy I was in that business previously. But, bro, like, this is the thing about it. Like, people aren't educated, therefore they do dumb things. They take loans out. They're in a lot of debt. The reason you're a slave to the system and the reason you're not making any money is probably because you're in a lot of debt. And obviously the government makes money when you're in debt. And that's why I always encourage everyone. That's why the college thing. If you have no debt going into college and you're fine like that, like I know people who are doing that. Look, great. If you're in debt, especially a lot of like hundreds of $1,000s, you're just setting yourself up for failure. Look, if you took out a little loan, whatever, I don't care. But when you're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars for housing, all that stuff, that's where it's really hard to recover from it. Because remember, this is the thing about college debt, and most people don't understand this. They don't know till they get into it. That debt stays forever with you. Even if you go bankrupt, like twice, 3 times, that debt is staying with you the moment until you die. right? That's just part of it. And that's how they play the game. That's how they win against you. So these people who are, in the middle class suffer the most, and I'll explain exactly why, right? So let's say you're in the middle class and your family, you're not wealthy enough to get, you're not wealthy enough where your parents can pay for your college, but also you're not poor enough where you can get financial aid. You're right in the middle. They give you a little bit of financial aid, but whatever. You're still you have no money. Meaning you have to be out of pocket for college. Like you can't, your parents, if you're making $100K a year, if your parents making $100K a year or $50K a year, whatever, it's going to be really hard for them to afford you to pay for your college, especially if you have siblings, especially if you're one of the younger siblings, right? Like let's just be clear here. It's a lot to help these people. And these middle class people who are actually very high class people who should be treated better, I think, are suffering because of the policies we have currently. And look, I'll be ultra clear. I don't pay attention to stuff like that crazy. But I understand these because I'm very educated in the concept. I have a passion for learning this stuff because I think many people are struggling. These young people are struggling. They're setting themselves up for failure. Especially then, what happens is they get in this debt. Someone has to pay the debt, and that debt stays forever. Most loans, if you go bankrupt, that debt goes away. But for those student loans, your debt doesn't go away. It stays there. And that's, I want to be ultra clear. That's a trap. That's one trap. Another trap I see is people get married young. People get married when they're 50, like 20, not 15, not 15. They get married when they're like 20, bro, 21. That's a trap. If you're getting married at 21 right now in society, how are you going to afford to have kids? What are you doing? Most of you guys are in school still. You have no job. You have no income. Why are you getting married young? Many people say this, get married young, have kids young. It's not true at all. There's no point in having kids till you have at least, in my opinion, hundreds of thousands of dollars at bare minimum if you're in the middle class. For me, I want to have kids on like 30, 35 because I understand there's no point in getting tied up when you're young. You have better things to do. You have things to accomplish when you're young. When you're young, that's the moment you can take risks. You can do things. You can try things out. But when you have kids, you always have to care for them. I want my kid to have the best life ever. And I don't want to have a kid when I can't provide them the best life ever. I'd rather wait till I'm older to have kids. So for many of you guys, that's a trap. People get married young. They get pregnant when they're 15 years old, 16 years old. In San Antonio, and many other cities, San Antonio especially, that's a very common thing that I see all the time. And the only way to prevent that is by not having kids. It's very easy. Not getting loans out, not being in a lot of debt, and just working and learning and doing stuff. And a lot of these people don't understand that. And basically what happens is you get a lot of debt, meaning you have to constantly work. And the money first, always you have to pay the debt off first. Then after you pay the debt, you have little rations that you can pay for food, water, etc. But debt is the number one way you could fuck up your life. I promise you that. Especially if you're just a blue collar worker, because you're not making enough money to pay it truthfully. And also, if you're on salary on a job, you're the one who gets fucked by the taxes, right? If you're making passive income from the business, there are write-offs, things you can do. And if you're a salary active income worker, and you make $60,000, $70,000 a year, they take like 30-40% of your money. Even if you're making $100,000, they take more. So it's like, why go down that path? And that's the point I'm trying to make. Why go down that path if you know they're taking half your money? Look what's happening in Somalia. Look at all the fraud going on. Are you're really fine with just giving them your money? Like, I think that's stupid. I would rather do good things, get tax write-offs for it, make a positive change in the world, and then in exchange get a tax write-off. That's the way I look at it. Because I'm not going to say my information, but I think paying taxes is probably the stupidest thing you could do, honestly. And you have to pay them, you have to obey. But there are legal ways to get out of it, and that's why I recommend people start a business. There are so many write-offs. If you buy an Airbnb right now, you get a lot of write-offs, right? It's like unbelievable. People don't understand this, and even most CPAs don't understand this. I think as a kid, I always thought as a kid that most adults were smart. They're not. Most adults are pretty stupid, to be honest with you. And that's the truth of it. And you guys are probably going to agree with me here. Most adults in any niche, anywhere, doctors, even lawyers. I have talked to lawyers personally who have no clue how to read documents that I have worked on in real estate deals. These are real estate attorneys who have no clue what they're looking at. They're asking me for things that they have no clue about. And it's like, how is a 19-year-old kid more educated than an attorney? And it's true. And I think most of you guys who learn this stuff will understand that too. People are lazy. Literally in class, when you're in college, let's say you're in college or high school, no one pays attention. Everyone's on their phones. No one actually pays attention. Let's think about it. I couldn't tell you the last time I paid attention in class. I don't care. Because if I'm learning from someone who has made not a lot of money, look, if I'm learning from someone who's made a lot of money, you're damn right I'm going to listen to them. But if they're not having success and they're not living the life I want to live, there's no point in listening to them. So that's when I knew in high school. I couldn't tell you. The last time I actually learned and didn't even like cheat in school, whatever. God, that's probably like in freshman year maybe. I don't know. And that's the truth of it. That's the truth of it. So for you guys, understand that, and you're like, okay, you say all these things. How do I get out of it? The only way you get out of it is by deciding you want to get out of the system. Everything around you, for the most part, people are brainwashed. Everywhere you walk, people are brainwashed. Everything is a system that is controlling you. And the only way you get out of it is if you let yourself get out of it. Most people who don't understand that will never get out. People think they're getting out, but you're not. If you're trapped and you can't do what you want to do when you want to do, that sucks, right? And again, like I said, this is not like the moment you realize it is just the first part of this. After you realize, you have to actually do things and like work your butt off, work harder than those people who work salary jobs. And then your path is here. See, it's very vertical. Most people are more this way, where it's like they kind of slowly go up, but then like they peak. They have kids, debt, more debt, and then they have no money, and they're working until they're 75, and they just die. Think about it. Most workers are batteries. They charge things. They do little things that I guess work for the big corporations, for the big people. But why not have them work for you? Why not have that system work for you? Most people are not going to see this video. Most people are not going to understand the concepts I'm saying because of the fact that they have closed ears. They don't want to hear this stuff. When it comes, they get distracted easily. They do things that they shouldn't do, right? So I highly encourage everyone to really try your best to understand that the system you're in, everyone else is in the system you're in. Most people are not awake and seeing this stuff that is outside the system, okay? And outside the control system. Do you really want to be controlled your whole life? Do you want to only go on vacation twice a year? Like, I think that's stupid. I think you should have control over your full life. And I think even if you're busy, you might have a lot more stress. I'll tell you, I have dealt with a ton of stress with business stuff because it's like you're dealing with a lot of stuff. It's a lot of pressure. But instead of, like, I love the pressure. I love having the pressure of having to have success. I love it. It's actually addicting. And it's actually probably the best addiction I have is I want to work my butt off and I want to work harder and harder so I can for sure have success, right? And that's how I want to portray. As anyone, especially as who I am right now, I want to do good things. I want to have success and I want to build big things. And I can't do that if I don't take enormous amounts of risk. You need to take enormous amounts of risk in your life if you want to have any sort of success. And I highly encourage you to do so. So that's my last message here. It's been about an hour. I'm going to call it today, but we have more tomorrow. Went on a little rant there. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. I think there's a lot of value there. Again, I've been going every day for these streams. So enjoy it. Do stuff. Try. I hope you actually start trying now and you change your life positively. Ignore outside things. Lock in. Do the best you can. Be the best person you could possibly be in your situation. And that will take you far in life than any other thing that anyone else has ever told you.